The tandem at the 1 and the 2, Teague and Cole. And it's Towns in at the pivot, manning the middle. Both these teams, Doris, relying tonight on the execution in their half-court game.
A little bit of a throwback, sort of an old-fashioned approach tonight. Don't worry, we're going to have plenty of highlights. It is the NBA. We know there are great players on both sides of the ball, Kev, but how about this ability to execute under duress of a 24-second shot clock? It's going to be really interesting to watch.
An even 3-on-3 break. Covington wide open. He fires. And that's collected by DeAndre Jordan. And the rejection by Towns.
A terrific effort by Towns. Sticks with the play and sends it back.
Teague against Irving. Over Teague.
No, that's Teague using his athleticism well on the defensive end, making life very difficult right now.
Culver passes to Towns. Now here's Teague. Pass to Covington. Shot clock at 5. Towns, no luck. Chandler dishes to Irving. We've played just over a minute here in the first. Durant against Wiggins. Over Wiggins. A nice shot by KD.
Kevin Durant's form, his release point, everything about his stroke is really impeccable.
Teague the pass to Culver. On the wing, Wiggins. Tipped away. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Wiggins. Greg, no secret that many Minnesota fans are questioning the contract they gave to Andrew Wiggins as his development has seemed to plateau.
And with all due respect to Wiggins, it would be worth worrying about if you're a Timberwolves fan. Wiggins has taken a step backwards, I feel, the last few years in his scoring and seemingly has lost the edge to his game that made him such a promising young star.
An effective guard in the NBA has got to have the floater at his disposal. Go to work, Kyrie Irving. We see you, sir.
Covington. That's good. And so Teague with the assist.
Well, use the pick and going right to the cup. I love the aggressiveness.
Now we'll go to David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with head coach Kenny Atkinson.
Thanks, Kevin. He thinks the big issue for them is to make things difficult inside. He understands that their opponent has a physical presence, but he wants his guys to match that physicality or surpass it. Obviously a tough order to fill, but they have to do it.
Thank you, David. Now Teague, following the three-point attempt by Kyrie Irving.
Well, DJ, twice on the pipes. No, sir. Get it out of here.
Lobs it up for Jordan. No good on that one. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. Pass to Wiggins. About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Towns finds Teague. Over Irving. And that one goes long.
Boy, a miss like that will drive any scorer crazy, especially with the defender giving a cushion.
Here's Teague, and it's slammed in by Teague.
Oh, my goodness. If you don't get in front of Jeff Teague, he's going to throw it down off that dribble drive.
The first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. Well, last season, for sure, Greg, a bit of a journey for DeAndre Jordan as he went from the Mavericks to the Knicks before his free agency. Now he is a part of Brooklyn.
And both KD and Kyrie took pay cuts to get Jordan on board. Still a factor with his size and defense, despite a lackluster year in 2019. Nets are hoping he can find his magic and be a force once again.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Conley's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. Jordan Bell comes in for Robert Covington. Layman, he's checked in for Wiggins. And Okogie subbed in for Culver. Now here's Dinwiddie. Passes it to LeVert. The three. And again, no good by Brooklyn. For Minnesota, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field. Layman passed to Vonleh. Well, Noah Vonleh was given a lot of minutes to work with last season, and he showed solid improvement.
Well, Vonleh was productive both as a scorer and a rebounder. He made great use of the opportunity presented to him. You think about it, he came into the league at such a young age. You forget he's still years away from what we should consider his prime.
And that drops, so they now lead by 1.
And until their playoff run, the Brooklyn Nets weren't a team we thought of as a free agent destination. And Doris, you almost forget that they play in the biggest market in the country.
And Greg, who would have thought that in New York and Los Angeles, arguably the most competent franchises would be the Nets and the Clippers? These are two of the historically dilapidated teams no longer content to play second fiddle in those major markets.
The Nets have gotten 3 of 8 shots to fall for them here in the first quarter. Here's LeVert. Up and in, off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field.
Oh, Kevin, fast release from Karis LeVert. The timing on the pull-up jumper, pretty.
Outside Teague. The pass to Okogie. Pass to Layman. Here's Okogie. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Teague can't hit.
Boy, with his shot not falling right now, it might be time to look in a different direction. See if you can get your teammates started.
LeVert with it. Kicks it to Dinwiddie. A three-pointer off the mark. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Nets lead by 3. And we've got more NBA action. All-star big man Karl Anthony Towns is hungry to maximize his potential.
I want to be the best player who ever played, and I feel that I could do that. I think I have the God-given talent and the God-given abilities to make it happen, and I have total confidence in myself every single day. I wake up that I could be the greatest player who ever played. I know if I continue to put the work ethic in and continue to do all the little things I need to do, I could find myself in that conversation. But, you know, obviously I got to learn every single day and never take no days for granted.
His coaches, Greg, and teammates love hearing that.
And how can you not? I mean, that kind of drive is special. And with his tools and potential, hard to put a ceiling on just how good he can be.
And some good action in the books as we get back to the game that's been pretty close here so far. And taking a look at the Nets' performance here, guys, what jumps out to you, stats-wise?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
I think across the board, a number of guys who've done a great job guarding multiple positions.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So on the floor for Minnesota, Teague is flanked by Okogie in the backcourt. Layman is out there with Bell, and it's Jang in at the 5 down low. And that one falls for Allen.
Boy, picking Jared Allen, number 22, back in 2017 has paid off for the Nets. This guy has proven already in his early 20s to be an NBA caliber starting center.
And Jared Allen grew up in the Austin area and played near his home at the University of Texas.
Yeah, Kev, just one season with the Longhorns. He really came into the league considered a project, but boy, his development is truly ahead of schedule.
The Timberwolves working the ball around them, and he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
Well, Gorgui Dieng is a big man, is an excellent passer. That's a pretty look.
For Minnesota, they have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
and look back a season ago, they did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
Kevin Durant, he's checked in for Brooklyn.
And you think about the Wolves' history. KG clearly their best player, but Big Cat has a chance to reach that level someday.
He does, Greg, and I think we always look through KG's legacy being defined by passion, commitment, and leadership. That was as important as his basketball skill. Karl Anthony Towns is similarly talented, right? I think the key is he just needs to find consistency. That's the last step.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, Kenny Atkinson, who's a native of Long Island, now has his dream job, coaching the Brooklyn Nets. Now, he doesn't need praise or recognition. Instead, he's fueled by the fear of failure. He says, I always feel like I'm one banana peel away from never being in the NBA again. And Kevin, he's got his team playing with that same determination.
David, he sure does. Thank you very much. Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Jordan Bell. Wiggins comes in for Jake Layman. And Culver's subbed in for Josh Okogie. That one drops. He ties it up. You know, Doris, I know your style of play at Providence was one of aggressiveness, a lot of instinct, a lot of smarts, great skill. But I think you also have an appreciation for the players that are real scrappy on the floor.
What I love, Kevin, are guys who can influence the game without having incredible offensive skill. So a guy like Patrick Beverly, so a little bit undersized, but would you like to have that guy pick you up at 94 feet, be in your grill and in your face like he gives no quarter, he gives no concessions? If he were checking Kevin Harlan, my goodness, you'd have a long night.
That would be a torture chamber. I agree with you. And there's Jordan putting it right back in.
How many times have we seen DeAndre Jordan take it off the window and convert? Boy, he is so good.
Towns finds Wiggins, and the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. And the Timberwolves with possession here. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. Robert Covington's checked in for Minnesota. And the Nets making a change here as well. Chandler's checked in. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Harris inside, covered by Wiggins. Durant with a wide open look. The offensive rebound.
You know, his positioning near the hoop, always to his advantage. Just a terrific job to tip that one back in.
Culver passes to Towns. Now Covington. Back to Towns. Jordan with some nice D.
Boy, if you're going up against this guy in this close a range, you've got to defend with everything you've got. A tremendous job defensively. Well, you think about Robert Covington's evolution since entering the NBA. When he started his career in Philadelphia, he got on the floor because of his defensive versatility. But credit this young man's work ethic because he put a ton of time in to become a respectable shooter.
Just 3 to shoot. 1:32 left in the first half of the game. Inside. Here's Jordan. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. 6 points for Jordan. And with Covington, he really has catapulted himself into one of the elite wing defenders, Doris, in the NBA.
And consider after he was traded, he took more of a leadership role because he was the best defender on the roster. And you know this, wherever he has gone, Robert Covington has made a huge difference on the defensive end of the floor.
Timberwolves trail by 4. Here's Wiggins. Takes it off the glass.
Well, you think the body up to Wiggins would throw him off. It doesn't help at all.
And it's Irving with the ball for the Brooklyn Nets. Jordan trying to free himself up. There's 42 seconds left now here in the second. Here's Culver. That shot misses. Good D by Irving. Net shooting is definitely lagging at the moment. They're just 30% in the second quarter. And slam dunk by Jordan.
Well, we've seen that a time or two for Mr. DeAndre Jordan. Nice, easy finish with that dunk.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Now, here's Culver. Covered by Irving. And here's Covington from the arc. No good that time. And so it's DeAndre Jordan making things happen for Brooklyn. Between his points and his rebounds, he was a star for him in that quarter.
Thanks very much, Kevin. Good battle going on tonight. What has been the approach?
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to 2K Sports, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny. Brooklyn found themselves in a close game in the first. They did jump out to a lead in the opening period, but 4 points was the biggest it got. They battled hard in the second quarter, and it was reflected on the scoreboard. And from what we saw so far from the Nets, Kenny, what's your takeaway? And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. DeAndre Jordan has been sensational.
The way he was able to finish on the block was incredible there in that first half.
It felt like his work on the interior really gave this offense a boost. Let's see if he can dominate the rest of the way.
Timberwolves trail by 4. Checking out the group for Kenny Atkinson to start the second half. Durant is out there with Wilson Chandler. Then it's Joe Harris. Then there's Irving. And it's Jordan in at the 5, home in the paint.
We've talked about this guy's ability to get to the free throw line. Towns in incredibly tough cover. Boy, when you think about the skill that Karl Anthony Towns has, and you realize he's just getting started in the league, his future is truly off the charts. By the midpoint of his career, we could be talking about him as one of the most skilled big men to ever play the game. An efficient night from the line. This is a guy who puts in the work and it pays dividends.
Pass to Harris. Pulls up. They get it back.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
Teague finds Towns. Passes it to Covington. Accurate with the jumper from the elbow. And with the offensive tool set of Karl Anthony Towns, Doris, he could see MVP consideration in the future.
Well, what we know about Karl Anthony Towns certainly is that each and every night he has a major impact for his team. And consider, he's still growing as a player and ironing out some areas. But this guy is going to be a star for a long time, no doubt.
And here is Harris. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Pops it up for Jordan. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Teague kicks to Wiggins. Jordan against Towns. Outside Teague. 6 on the shot clock. Culver dishes to Towns. Off target with his 3.
Terrific closeout there to challenge the 3.
It may be the hardest thing to do in basketball. Close under control, and he's more than up to the task.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. Doris, you've said this often. It is incredibly difficult to compare guys of different positions in different eras, isn't it?
It really is. There's so many discussions about who's the GOAT, who's the greatest of all potential time. And there are certain names that are always going to pop to the top of the list, LeBron James. But it's very difficult to me, say, to compare a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the greatest to ever man the center position, had the impossible-to-check sky hook. But how do you compare him with LeBron James, who, though he is, and I don't know what position he is, he may be the greatest passer in the history of the league. Like, let's enjoy individual greatness without comparison.
There's the pass to Layman. He kicks it to Bell. It's to Vonleh. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Pass to Bell. To the paint. And the dunk by Vonleh.
Go into the rack with energy, and the D afraid to cut him off.
Yeah, gotta chalk that one up to some shaky defending.
Yeah, and give him credit for taking advantage in a close game. Those are the types of plays that can swing things in your direction. You know, I've got to say, defensively, the effort simply hasn't been there this half. They've got to pick up their energy.
Here's a Kogi, and that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got 3 assists now in this one.
Well, Jeff Teague knows how to get by and find teammates. That's pretty right there.
Irving passes to Allen. Oh, that's blocked. But they'll get another chance. Now, here's Dinwiddie. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Another shot. And it's off the back rim. No good. Timberwolves trail by 5. Here's a Kogi. Rebound, Brooklyn. Prince has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's Durant. And some very quick points for him on that possession. KD's got the lead up to 7 now for Brooklyn. Kogi, the pass to Layman. Here's a Kogi. 46 seconds left in the third. Irving against Teague. From deep 3-point range, Brooklyn with the rebound.
I'll tell you, no matter what he does, he can't find his rhythm, and you get the sense he's starting to press a little bit.
Prince outside. Jacks up a 3. And the Nets another 3. Teague against Irving. Teague with the ball. Poke loose. Got it up. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And so it's Brooklyn with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. They have made it very... Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game. And it's presented as always by State Farm.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
And when you're the beneficiary of a pass that good, you better deliver. And he did just that.
The 4th quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. Nets leading by 10. Covington at the 4 with Towns in at the 5. Culver the off guard with Wiggins at the 3. And it's a Kogi in at the 1. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Dinwiddie's shot is off. Now here's Culver. Not a lot of room. Passes to Wiggins. Fires from deep. Buries it from 3-point range.
Well, increasing consistency from range. This is one of the things Andrew Wiggins is working on.
LeVert finds Dinwiddie. Rebound, Minnesota.
I'll tell you, even though he's not playing his best basketball, the team has played well and picked it up. I love it.
Kogi, the pass to Covington. On the wing, Wiggins, defended by Allen. Here's Towns. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins.
Well, late rotation by the defense, and Wiggins has the vision to find the open man.
Dinwiddie attacking, and the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean, taking the hit and still able to get that one to go down.
And the 6'6" point guard, Spencer Dinwiddie, second-round pick of the Detroit Pistons in 2014. You know, Greg, they might have wished they held on to him.
One of the most improved players in our league. Last season, he signed that 4-year, $48 million extension from the Nets, rewarding his growth.
And here we go. Dinwiddie heading to the hoop. Drops in the breakaway layup. Dinwiddie's got 5 points now this quarter.
Not everything fell for him in that first half, and now it looks like they're beginning to hit their stride.
Towns kicks to Wiggins. Rebound, Brooklyn. Jordan's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. To the middle, here's Chandler. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Robert Covington picks one up. And the first one drops. Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching, and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people who were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the basement.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. And
Wow.
I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
Remember it very well.
Incredible.
To the inside, LeVert. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. LeVert's got the lead up to 12 now for the Nets. The Timberwolves have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Culver dishes to Towns. It's stolen by Harris. Chandler down low. Defended by Covington. Chandler's shot good. Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Dinwiddie with the steal. And the pass to Chandler. The three. He can't get that one to fall. And so it's Wiggins with it. He'll bring it up for Minnesota. It's a 14-point game. Okogie, the pass to Towns. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Well, Doris, no doubt that Karl Anthony Towns is the star of his team right now and in the future.
I think, Kevin, for all the drama and all the turnover we have seen, the one constant has been Karl Anthony Towns' productivity. The question now for the team is, how do they build a title contender around him?
The free throw drops for Towns.
Make no mistake, Karl Anthony Towns has all the skills necessary to be amongst the best players in the league. What a problem he poses for defenses, guys.
Teague's checked in for Josh Okogie. The Nets also changing it up. Durant's checked in for LeVert, and it's Kyrie Irving in for Dinwiddie. On the wing, Harris. Kicks to KD. Lock at 6. Goes back up, and the layup is up and in.
And clearly, we will not be witnessing a spirited comeback tonight, albeit as exciting as that would be. This was an excellent all-around performance for the Nets.
This was a physical game.
Yeah, I mean, they were aware of the rotations defensively and were able to attack the rim.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Jordan.
Boy, I think he made his presence felt in the paint more than anywhere else. This guy's rebounding numbers were outstanding. He controlled the glass. Well, DeAndre Jordan remains one of the best rebounders in the NBA. His ability to dominate the glass and get you extra possessions, just a thing of beauty.
Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. And a new group in for the Nets. David Nwaba is checked in for Chandler. Rodion Kurucs comes in for Kevin Durant. Musa, he's checked in for Joe Harris. And Garrett Temple subbed in for Kyrie Irving.
And his defense, so valuable. Not many can bother that shot at the rim.
Boy, you see the effort. You see the range. This guy prides himself in his ability to shut you down.
Here's Temple. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.